On guys, Jerry with another video. Today guys, I figured what we're doing to celebrate. Today we hit 302 subscribers here on the channel. We also hit 3,000 hours watched. So I greatly appreciate all your guys' love and support. We're so close to hitting our goal of 500 subs here on the channel. So I figured do something, a different type of video today guys to kind of celebrate this milestone with you guys, with the community. So I thought what I'd do today, guys, because everyone has one of these stories. So I figured that's what we do today is we'd have kind of a little story time uh, here on the channel. So I want to go through basically really the first time, my cards were, Yu-Gi-Oh cards were stolen. So I figured that'd be an interesting episode to go through because from what I've seen over the years, most people have a story or a similar story. If you guys do, let me know your story down below in the comments, and I'll go through and read them and respond back to you guys. But I figured that'd be a good way to kind of just celebrate the milestone and do something a little bit different here on the channel. Let me know if you guys like this, or maybe if you thought I should have done something else to celebrate this milestone. But I thought it was an interesting idea that I thought would give it a shot and see if you guys would be interested in it. So guys, just to kind of give you some context. So this happened all the way back, and I got the game kind of playing just to give you guys something to kind of look at just as I'm kind of talking. So just to give you an idea back, this happened all the way back when I was in the fifth grade, essentially. So I was a kid, obviously a kid at the time. So what had happened is I took all of my cards, which was, I didn't think it was a bad idea, obviously at the time, being that young, being in the fifth grade. And I've taken all of my cards to school before, several times and never had any issues. Uh, but unfortunately, this particular time that I took them all to school, they ended up getting stolen. Uh, so around this time, it was a little after Christmas. The reason why I was remember it was a little after Christmas because I'd actually gotten some Yu-Gi-Oh cards for Christmas and a lot of Pokemon cards as well for Christmas from my parents, my grandparents, my aunt. So I had a good bit of a collection, guys. I had my huge blue binder. I still have like a pretty much it's almost like the same binder, but it's that I got basically to replace that one after that one got stolen several years later to re-put my stuff back in. But it's basically, three prong binder, 3-inch prong binder. Nothing fancy. That's used to, what I put all my cards in. Very cheap. Very easy to get back then. There wasn't a lot of choices, back then because it's been, you know, what 20, it's 20 something years ago at this point now. Uh, so that's basically what happened essentially. So I took it all to school, all of my cards. The only thing I didn't take luckily was my deck. So I still had the deck that I played with. Luckily I left that at the house at the time. So what happens is I go to school, right? I ride the bus to school, same as any other day. We get to school, everything's, same as normal at school. We go to lunch. Sometime after we come, I think that's right, if I recall right, when we come back from lunch, I go to check my locker. Can't remember why, but I go to check my locker, and then all my binders, because like at least a binder or two of cards. The blue one I particularly remember. I don't remember what the other one was, but the blue one stands out because that had most of my collection in it, because it was a huge binder. The other one was a smaller one. Um, so basically, I looked, all my stuff was gone. I started talking to, a few of my friends in the class just to see if they had, saw anything or anything like that. I'll just put it in the video to keep going in the background. And basically, long story short, I've talked to a bunch of them. I even checked, a few of them were nice enough to let me check their backpacks and stuff like that. And we get close to the end of the day, and I'm like, I couldn't figure out what happened to them, and I talked to, several people that I was friends of the class, still no cards in sight. I ended up finding out. I can't remember which one of my friends ended up finding out later on, but it was ended up being another one of my classmates that was in the class that ended up stealing the cards. I won't mention his name. I don't know if he even still lives here in town or not, but I'll add rest of the. I'll leave a funny part at the end of the video, so make sure you guys go through. It's a whole story kind of ties in. The last part be kind of kind of a bit more interesting. So we found out basically the dude, and I know who stole my cards because, like I said, one of my other friends told me. I don't remember the person who told me, but off the top of my head, because, like I said, it's been so long ago. But they basically told him, ended up stealing the cards because they caught him on the bus, and he was sitting there looking at him on the bus. And we rode the same bus, which was very stupid of him, um, to do that. We rode this, the same bus to school, every day and back home every day. So, so I ended up finding out. I think it was like the next day, the following day, um, and one of my friends, his mom is one of the teachers, so I ended up going to him and talking to her, which I used to play baseball with her son and stuff like that too. So I knew his mom, and his mom knew me, and I knew his mom and his dad, and his parents knew my parents, right? Because we played baseball together, and we went to school together too, of course. So our parents knew each other, so we all knew each other. Uh, so she was kind enough to try and talk to me and to him to see if he would, do the right thing and basically return my cards to me. So basically, we end up, she ended up pulling me in the hall, and him, getting on to me for bringing them to school, getting on to him for, not saying that he stole them, but essentially saying, hey, if he had them, that he needed to give them back, essentially. Uh, and that's basically what ended up happening. He did basically ended up denying it, of course, so I didn't end up getting my cards back. Uh, so several years later, because this was back in the fifth grade. Fast forward to, this is what, maybe sophomore. I want to say maybe sophomore or junior year. I think it was maybe sophomore year. It was something like that. It was sophomore or junior year. So fast forward, 5 6 years down the line. The same dude that stole my cards, another dude that I was friend with, apparently he had an issue with the dude that stole my cards with another friend of mine back in the eighth grade. He had a friend. For something happened that apparently it just ate him alive for whatever reason. Supposedly over the years, this is what he told. Uh, and this is the part that I said I mentioned later on. Um, he ended up basically he was walking home. My friend Anthony that used to walk home, and he used to live right across the road from me. He was ended up walking home from school, and the dude that had stolen my cards, like I said, he had some sort of thing that Anthony had said years ago stuck in his head back from the eighth grade. That I guess that made him look bad or made fun of that I guess whatever it was. Um, so he was, for whatever reason, he just lost it for whatever, for no reason at all, and then ended up hitting Anthony in the back of the head with the stick. So Anthony ran home and having to call his parents to call the cops. So that's how that kind of ended up going. Catch 22, several years later. Um, I think it was around that same time too. I think right when that happened or before that happened, the dude had taken my cards. He had actually had still some of them at that same time that he had brought, and I think he tried, if I recall, I think he tried to sell them to me, uh, which obviously I didn't do because he didn't take care of my cards at all because they were the ones that he had, or if they were mine, or maybe he had gotten more of his own by then or whatever. They were in horrible condition, and the ones that he had that weren't that good, I already gotten my collection back up because this had been 6 years later. So I started from nothing, so I was still spending all my birthday money, Christmas money, same as probably the rest of you guys, right, that have that played the game over the years. So that's essentially basically what I did is I went through and rebuilt my collection again, start to finish. But that's basically my story, guys. Just kind of going through. Let me know if what you guys think about that. But I figured hopefully I did a decent job telling it. But I want to try and leave the person's name out. Hopefully, uh, try and be respectful of that. Like I said, I haven't seen the dude in years. Um, but but yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts down below. Let me know if you've had an experience like this from what I've seen over the years. Pretty much most of everyone's had a story like this. So comment yours down below. I'll comment. I'll definitely comment on if you guys post that. Let me know if you guys like this for me doing this video to celebrate our milestone of hitting 302 subs here on the channel, and also 3,000 hours watched. Guys, we're getting closer and closer to pushing 500 subs. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely consider getting on subscribe. Please make sure you guys smash the like button so we can help get this the video pushed and the channel continue to push. I greatly appreciate all your guys' love and support. Each day we're getting closer and closer to 500 subs here on the channel. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm looking forward to reading the comments on this video, and yet again, I appreciate all your guys' love and support, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.